Alright, hello everyone, I'm the man, and welcome to another review video. Surprise, surprise, it's another album. I do way too many albums. I review a lot, like way too many albums. But this one's a bit different. Well, not really that different. So I was on bandcamp, and I really don't mean to review just music. I just listen to a lot of music. I really don't have any movies to really review and say, because I did my, top favorite movie list. You guys can go check that out if you're new here. Something might pop up there, so you can go check that out, along with my other review videos. But I was on bandcamp a few days ago, and I was going through Sybil Buyer, Color Green, and I went down to recommendations, and I had a few just to see, what would pop up. So I went on there, and a few things popped up, and one of them was Phoebe. Oh, that was Phoebe, but it's Phoebe. Bridger's Punisher album. I clicked play, and it played Garden Song. I listened to it, and I was like, man, this is actually really good. So I went onto YouTube Music, because sadly Google Play Music is gone for some stupid reason. So I went on there and I found it, I saved it, and I listened to it all the way through. And holy crap, man. First time I listened to it, I actually didn't listen to it all the way through until like a few days later. But this is probably one of the saddest but also the most beautiful album I have ever heard. Each song is perfect in its own way. Her voice is haunting. When you listen to this, her voice doesn't go away after listening to it. Like, it is just so amazing, so well made. Instrumentals are same old instrumentals you would usually hear on albums like these. It's hard to say what genre it is. I want to say pop, but it's not really that. I kind of want to say it's classical, but it's not really that either. I really don't know what genre to put it in. I guess punk rock, I guess. Even though there is only like 2 songs on there that are punk rock-ish. But after I made it to the title track, Punisher. And I'm used to getting chills when listening to new music, especially music like this. This was something different. I swear, every single hair on my entire body stood up when I first listened to Punisher, the title track. I have rarely had that happen, if not ever. It is probably one of my favorite tracks on there besides Halloween. Her voice is so good. And I didn't know it won a Grammy until like way later. And I can understand why, because this album deserves that. This album, it so deserves that kind of award, because it really is worth that. I know I may seem like I over-exaggerate some things whenever I do these type of reviews, but these are just how I feel. Here's my honest opinions about it, what I think about it. Like I said, if I had to pick favorites, it had to be between the title track or Halloween. Those will probably be my favorites, but all the songs on there are really, really good. I don't care much for her music videos, to be honest. I've not heard her debut album, because this is her second album. I've not heard her debut album yet. I may listen to that tonight. I really don't know. I want to. I really do. So I may check that out tonight. But from what I've heard on Punisher, I really like her voice. It is so unlike any other female singer I've heard. It is close to Sybil Bayer, but just, it is so fucking sad. Like, I'm being 100% honest. This album is so full of emotion. And I almost don't want to classify these as songs, because these are more of true personal stories told in for a 4 to 3 minute track each. There's a lot of detail in what she talks about in these songs. Definitely personal experiences, you can tell right off the bat from Garden Song, especially Halloween. These are more like she's telling you stories than just singing. Like, these feel like just so personal stories, and not a whole lot of artists from what I have listened to have actually done that correctly, or done that very well. I mean, they do it, but not very well. The only time I felt like I was being told a story was Pink Floyd's The Wall. But this is just, it's like an anthology story of just personal stories of what happened, and in such a very good order. And I'm forgetting some of the things I wanted to say, which sucks, even though I just got done listening to the album again. I literally listened to this all weekend. Like, I wasn't home during the weekend, and I just listened to it all weekend. I really did. Constantly on repeat. I probably listened to it about 10 or more times, and it's worth it. Like, I don't just go, oh, this sounds nice, I really like it. No, I'm not one of those people that just goes, oh, that's a good album, immediately after listening to it. I listened to it a bunch of times. I don't just go, oh, that looks cool, let's check that out. I will check it out, but I just don't go by, cover art, even though the cover art did catch my eye. But I wanted to check it out since it was recommended to me, since I liked Sybil Bayer Color Green album, which is also a phenomenal album. But this is just, and it's very rare that I deem an album perfect. Very rarely. Like, I have to be extremely impressed and extremely in, like, awe of how amazing it sounds, whether it be lyrically, instrumentally, or vocally. Like, I don't just go, that's a fantastic album, I'm gonna deem that the best album I've heard. I don't just do that. Yes, I've heard some really good albums here recently, but I've noticed here lately some of the albums that have been coming out, or at least the ones I've discovered, have been fantastic. This is also going alongside another album which I also discovered called Coming Home by Rob Reynolds. That album is fantastic. He's a really great singer. Is it worth greatest album I've ever heard? No, because it is a very generic album. I hate to say it. Yes, it is fantastic. Yes, there are no bad songs at all. but I feel like it's more of a compilation of singles that you would hear played on the radio on like a rock station. That's why I didn't give that album a review, and I gave this one a review, because this one really stuck with me. And I sort of needed this type of album. Like, I needed something like this. Something that is just full of emotion, and that's what this album is. It is full of emotions, and most of it is very sad and very depressing. But it will stick with you. This album really will. Sorry if I'm not going into much detail. I really don't go into much detail. Also, I forget a lot of what I wanted to say because my memory is bad. I do apologize. But there's only very few albums that I can deem perfect, and this comes at number 3 or 4. Satanic Planet being number 1. Distance Over Time by Dream Theater is number 2. This one's a 3 or 4 for me. If I do find another album that I really, really like, I will definitely give it a review. Please go check out this album, please. And if you've heard it, let me know down in the comments what you think. Also, I do recommend listening to this album in full, in one go, with really good headphones, or really good speakers, because not because you'll like really jam out, but you'll get a good, beautiful sound of just everything that goes on, and just not just in the forefront, but also in the background, and the melodies, and her voice, and the way it sounds. Also, if you do listen to it, I do think Kyoto will be a very good song to put on very high in a car while driving. Put the volume on like very high with the bass going. It's definitely one of those type of songs. Definitely. So yeah, I would recommend checking this out. I'll leave a link up here to a playlist to the album. But also, hopefully it'll be down there in the description. If it's not down there, just call me out in the comments. Go check out some of my other reviews. Just let me know what you think of this, because this definitely is one of the saddest, most beautiful albums I've heard in a very long time. Sorry to all Sybil Bayer fans, but I think this is more sad and more beautiful than Color Green. I'm sorry. I love Color Green. That album is fantastic as well. But the only reason why I never gave that a review is because it is too short. The songs are a little bit too short. I really have nothing bad to say about this album. I really don't, other than the music videos are that's really it. But everything else on this album is just fantastic. It really is. And I was sort of looking for something else to review. Sadly, it is another album. I'll try and review something that isn't music, but I don't think that's going to happen for a while. But who knows? Also, if you want to see me do a top 5 greatest albums I've ever heard list, let me know and I'll gladly make that video. So go check it out. It is worth it. It really is. I know I'm not going into much detail. Sort of lost what I wanted to say, but that's alright. I think I've said all that I wanted to say. If not, then I'll probably edit in if I think of something. But yeah, she is a phenomenal singer. Definitely sings with a lot of emotion. Songs are like just her just telling you her personal stories, personal experiences, and that's something that a lot of albums really don't get right, in my opinion. Um, and I really, like I said, I don't just go, oh, this is great. Like, I have to really feel something or really be, like, extremely impressed for me to deem an album perfect and to um, do a review like this. I may review um, Distance Over Time by Dream Theater. If anyone wants me to see me review that, I gladly will. But I probably won't since that was the very first album I actually deemed perfect. Until I heard Satanic Planet, and then it sort of took its place at number 1, and this is number 3. It's perfect, it's great, but it's not so unique that it's number 1. If you don't like my review, if you don't like what I had to say, if you think that it should have been number 1 on my greatest albums ever list, then sorry. But anyways, please go check it out. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. I'm finally ending this video. Unless I think of something else, then I might edit it in. But anyways, I am the man. And goodbye.